being watched, so don't get any ideas.
What is it, Outsider? Have you discovered anything?
Have you had any luck finding the scouts? Or did you have something to discuss? Good. Let's take a look. If I'm reading this right, it appears that the NCR's grip on this region is nowhere near as firm as I thought. I'll have to review these in detail, but these reports have given me much to think about. Thank you, Outsider. You've become someone I can count on, so I believe I can share something rather confidential with you. The device that creates the sandstorms above, that masks our comings and goings, was only intended to be used in case of emergencies. It was never meant to be used with any regularity. And the other systems here were not designed to accommodate such usage. In particular, the air filtration system simply cannot handle the quantity of sand and grit that it's been forced to cope with these last few years. As a result, the system is failing, albeit slowly. I'm told we have a scant few months before it shuts down completely. Should that happen, it will quickly become impossible to breathe here in the bunker. Already the air quality begins to slightly worsen. I would like you to find the components we need to fix this bunker's air filtration system. I cannot overstate the importance of this task. See Senior Knight Lorenzo for the details. He's the one who brought the matter to my attention, and the only other person who is aware of it.
Hello again, my friend. I hope you've been finding the information in the data store useful.
Hello?
Good to see you again. What can I help you with? So now I'm going to have your death on my conscience too? Great. No, I heard you quite clearly. You're being sent off to be killed like the others. You think you're the first person the Elders trusted with this? He sent 3 of our patrols out looking for those components, and they're all dead. I was the one who supplied the Elder with the location of possible sites where we could find the components, so their deaths are my fault.
And now it's your turn. Well, don't say you weren't warned. I won't take the blame when you die horribly, but I can tell you're getting impatient.
The items I'll need to keep the system running are a differential pressure controller, a reverse pulse cleaner, and several HEPA cartridge filters. At present, my best guess for finding the items would be to search any of the old vaults in the area. Those vaults were usually built much like these military bunkers, even using the same contractors in their constructions at times. I'll mark the vault's locations on your map. Best of luck to you.
Hello, Outsider. kick this in gear. How you wanna play, huh? mood for... Someone's looking to cash their chips early. Serving up some hurt. this in gear. Let's paint this. You're just in time for your ass whipping. Don't need this right now. And then the fight started. Let's kick this in gear. Serving up some hurt. Let's burn this place. I'm out.
What the fuck are you doing here? You got some kind of fucking death wish, asshole? If you're fucking carrying, just fucking say so. Yeah, deliver to the boss. Business as usual. Motor runners down in the maintenance wing. Straight through the door behind me, down the hall, down the stairs to the right. We have a con coming through to see the boss. Don't shoot at her.
Prim is gonna be much tougher to push around with that new sheriff down there.
So long as the cons keep making it, I keep getting high.
I wouldn't mind hitting that, she put out. My buddy saw some sort of elite ranger squad the other day. They took out his group from a quarter mile off. Flying robot?
Prim is gonna be much tougher to push around with that new sheriff down there.
Careful if we go off the road. Mojave is almost buzzing like a cazador now. Must be all the Blood Legion and NCR spilling over the Colorado. All right then.
I need to get some more chems. A flying robot. Fucked up. House dead, strip can belong to anyone who wants it. Fiends to rule.
I wasn't expecting a resupply so soon. So you have anything from Red Rock Canyon to sell me? I guess it isn't a secret. Yeah, the residents of the vault are all dead. We killed them. Funny thing is, they just let us in. We didn't have to force the doors or anything. We needed someplace to put down roots. I was having trouble keeping my people out of Westside. I try to keep my people out of Westside. Apart from trying to stay on good terms with the cons who do business there, there's mean son of a bitch. That fucking mutant is more trouble to kill than to avoid. Having some place for my people to sleep reduces the chances of drifting into Westside.
Get the fuck out of my face.
God damn, I need a fix. What is it, outsider? Have you discovered anything? The filtration system. He wouldn't have you looking if we didn't need those parts badly. Which means that system's in real trouble. If the air filters go, it will become impossible to breathe down here. We'd be forced to evacuate the bunker. I can't believe he's kept something like this to himself. We should have every able-bodied person in the chapter working on this. All the more reason for you to find a way to get McNamara out of that chair before he dooms us all.
Good to see you. Alive, that is. Have you found all of the components yet? Really? I mean, that's great. I knew you could do it all along. I'll get right to work installing these. Why don't you go tell the Elder the good news? I'm sure it'll be a huge load off of his shoulders. Back again, I see. Have you found all the components we need? Good news for a change. Your efforts have humbled me, outsider. You have done more than I could expect, even from my brothers. Moreover, I've been going over the scouts' reports, and keep coming up with the same conclusion. The NCR is not the threat I've believed it to be. We should not have had to rely on your help in this crisis. I believed my actions were guided by caution and prudence, but I now see the truth. People called me a hero after what happened at Helios. But I left that battle scarred by fear, and have allowed that weakness to govern my actions. That ends now. I will undo the wrong I have done my brethren and lift the lockdown. With luck, we will once again flourish. Please,
take this. It is a small token of my thanks, and scarcely begins to repay the debt owed you, but is all I am allowed to give an outsider. This key will allow you to use our safe house to the northeast. I hope it will prove useful in your travels. Welcome, outsider, welcome. The lockdown has been officially lifted, and everyone seems to be in good spirits. With the surface open to us once again, Hardin's already started talk of sending a force out to attack Helios, but I hope to dissuade him. What can I do for you? You've certainly earned the right, but I'm afraid there's a slight matter of protocol that must be dealt with first. Exceptional individuals, like yourself, are sometimes allowed to join the Brotherhood if they perform a valuable service for it. While your actions up to this point have been commendable, I am afraid they don't quite qualify as such a service. However, I do have another task that fits the bill rather nicely. Would you consider undertaking it? As one of our patrols discovered, the mutants just to the northeast have become strangely violent in the years we were secluded. However, this turn of events could also be an opportunity. We mostly left the equipment of the communications array there alone, out of respect. As the inhabitants have now proven themselves hostile, no more respect will be accorded them, making their equipment fair game. I want you to head up to the summit of Black Mountain and install this remote signal transmitter in one of their consoles. It will allow us to tap into the radar and other detection systems running there, assuming they're still operational. If we're going to operate on the surface again, it would be nice to do so with as much information at our fingertips as possible. Good luck.
It looks like you've managed to talk some sense into the Elder outsider. Be assured I'll still be keeping an eye on him. Your efforts to help this chapter are not unappreciated. Now what can I do for you? Elijah was a strange one. His even becoming Elder was highly questionable, seeing as how he was a scribe. Typically only paladins are eligible. But an exception was made in his case on account of him being a genius. Unfortunately, whatever scientific acumen he had didn't extend to tactics. Trying to defend Helios was a blunder of the worst kind, and many brothers lost their lives because of it. Many of the senior paladins, myself included, advised him to fight a retreating action, but he refused to budge. Said he almost had it working. We never did find out exactly what he was talking about. When the perimeter was finally overrun, the Elder had simply vanished. Later.